Welcome back. Sorry, my arm is wet. I don't know why. That's gross. Okay, so if you couldn't tell from the title, this is historical inaccuracies in the Pirates of the Caribbean series that piss me off. I'm gonna start with the ones that don't, because there are a lot, and only a handful of them actually make me mad. So we're gonna start with the ones that I've noticed that I'm glad that they changed. Okay. So, I don't know why it's set in the Caribbean. Specifically, they call it the Spanish Main, which is, I know where that is, it's the Caribbean. They didn't call it the Caribbean. They call it the Spanish Main, Caribbean, same difference. Whatever. I don't know why it's set there, because everybody's British. And the reasoning I have is that area of the world belonged to Spain, hence the name, Spanish Main, and hence why all the islands are called Isla Cruce, Isla de Muerta, and they're all named Spanish things, right? Like, it makes no sense to me. I'm also a little confused about just like all of it. But also, that isn't something that pisses me off so much because I really hate the British, and the fact that they are the antagonists in this series actually makes me happy. So I don't mind. Another one. Pirates. It was not a fun gig. No. You were a pirate if you were gay and loved breaking the law, and the gay thing is real. Pirates were gay. Also, they put CHing in the freaking movie, and she didn't do jack crap. Jack shit. I can curse on this channel, I forgot. She didn't do jack shit. Okay, yes, they called her Mistress Chang or whatever, and they put her in stupid makeup, but I just want to know. CHing, for those of you who are not a nerd, not nerds, phrase that weird, CHing is the greatest pirate to have ever lived. I mean that. Like, Blackbeard, he was a loser compared to this woman. She had, 80,000 ships, which is, I don't know the exact number, it's something like that. She had a bigger fleet than any navy ever. Ever. She was a pirate. If you mistreated women, she beheaded you. If you took more than your share, she beheaded you. If you killed one of your crewmates, she beheaded you. If you broke her rules in any way, she beheaded you. She was insane. She was Chinese, I think. So, yeah, okay. That's awesome, and they should have done more with her because she's literally amazing. I love her. Also, being a pirate, not a fun thing to do at all. It was not fun. Oh, also, I forgot. CHing retired. She didn't get killed. She didn't get arrested. She retired and lived the rest of her life unfathomably rich. She was like, being a pirate's not so fun for me anymore. Now that I'm incredibly rich and the military can't touch me, I'm just gonna retire. So she did. Just insane, insane. And we learned about Blackbeard. That guy only had 2 ships to his name. This woman was running every bit of Chinese water. And this guy just terrorized the coast of North Carolina for a couple years. And he's, okay, whatever. So, being a pirate sucked. You ate hardtack that was covered in weevils. You hoped that the guy next to you wasn't going to die tomorrow. You weren't sleeping. You were sleeping in the hull of the ship, which has a foot of water in it at all times. Another inaccuracy in Pirates of the Caribbean. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry. There seems to be a leak. Bro, there's barely a foot of water in the bottom of that ship. I'll get into that later. Yeah, no, being a pirate is not fun. And they didn't stab each other and shoot each other, they would gut you and throw you overboard. Keel hauling was particularly popular. That actually didn't happen. But Jack did threaten to keel-haul Henry in the 5th movie. That movie is absolute garbage, so it doesn't really count. But still, he did. He didn't. He threw him into a longboat on the side of the ship and just, like, tricked Katrina into believing. Katrina, I don't freaking remember her name. Karina, I'm pretty sure it was Karina. Yeah, Karina Smith. Well, Karina Barbosa, as she goes by now. Disney fired Johnny Depp, so that's never happening. We don't even... Who cares? Karina. He tricks Karina into thinking that he's threw him overboard. Keel-hauling is when you tie somebody's ankle the rope and you then throw them overboard and let them get drugged behind the ship. That just seems like a really difficult way to drown someone, but actually they would scrape against the barnacles. Barnacles are no joke, man. I once sliced my foot open on one of those bitches. Not fun. Not fun. Anyway. So yeah. There's just some things that I'm glad they changed, like the whole British people being evil and the fact that they cast Mr. Collins, Short King of the Year, as Lord Beckett, the most horrific villain in the entire freaking show. So he's like 4 feet tall, ordering around this like 6'3" tentacle-faced pirate. It's actually hilarious. I'm freezing. I had to put a sweater on. Okay, now we're gonna get into the things that piss me off. Alright, so, as cool and amazing as the line, "You like pain? Try wearing a corset" is inaccurate. Because when, okay, Elizabeth, it opens with her, she has a dream about her childhood, she wakes back up, and her dad is like, "Oh, I've got a dress for you to put on so you can wear it to Commodore Norrington's whatever thing." And she's like, okay, and she puts it on, and they lace up her corset, or stays, as it would be called back then. They lace that up, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so tight." And her dad's like, "Oh, I've heard it's the most fashionable thing in London." And she's like, "I guess women in London have learnt not to breathe." Excuse me, I know you've lived here for a long time, but literally in the flashback with her as a child, she was 8 in that, she's wearing stays. Okay, she was a kid, so they wouldn't have been like super tight or anything, but still, she was wearing it. So clearly she's worn a corset before. Sure enough, we didn't see her wear any clothes before that. She was just in a nightgown, so that doesn't really tell us anything. But London or not, this girl, regardless of what she was wearing in the opening, would have grown up wearing stays. You could argue maybe they tightened it too tight, or that her dad got the wrong size, or something ridiculous. Oh, but that's not a thing, because corsets are, I don't want to say one size fits all, but kinda, because you lace them. Without lacing them, they're just pieces of fabric held together by string. Like, you have to lace it. And you lace it depending on how big somebody is. Right? Like, I just don't understand why they did that. And I get that because they were like, oh, she needs to faint so that the plot can happen, so that the amulet can touch the water, and the pirates can come, and Jack will save her, and start a really messy kind of love triangle that goes nowhere. Yeah. I still think it is absolutely vile that they made a 17-year-old girl kiss not only a 25-year-old man, but also a 42-year-old man. That just is a little wild to me. Why would you do that to her? Okay, she was probably like 18 when they filmed Dead Man's Chest, but still, Johnny Depp was like 40. Why was he kissing her? Why did they do that? Okay, Orlando Bloom, yeah, he's a little older, but still, it's just for a movie, but a little odd that they did that. They wanted her to faint. Guess what? This is the Caribbean. She is wearing a slip, corset, petticoat, and then a gown. Four layers. Oh, and stockings that go up to her thighs. She would have fainted anyway. Of all these, and all the fabric is like a thick fabric, people fainted all the time. Plus, the corset would have made it a little bit difficult for her to breathe. You didn't have to go all in with the corset. You could have just been like, it's the Caribbean. It is 106 degrees with 100% humidity here at all times. She's wearing 4 layers of clothing. This girl cannot breathe. Like, not to mention the, like, structured part of her skirt and the bustle or whatever she would be wearing. She's wearing a lot of clothing. She's gonna faint anyway. It would have worked, right? They just had to do something, I guess. That was not so bad because it's like, how else would they have done it, you know? Or here's the thing, she could have just like slipped. It could have worked. Either way, I still think it's an awesome scene when he rips off her corset and she like coughs, spits out all the water that was inside of her, and her lungs, and guy goes, never would have thought of that, and Jack looks at him and just says, clearly you've never been to Singapore. It's like, what happened in Singapore? But we don't need to talk about it. Okay, next problem. Happens in the same scene, because Norrington holds out his hand or something, and Jack just goes, and then he pulls up his sleeve, and you see the pirate brand on his arm. Do you know where pirates actually got branded? Forehead. You got a brand on your forehead if you're a pirate. Do you know what part of Jack's body is consistently always covered? His forehead. He's wearing a bandana that is sewn to the wig that Johnny Depp is wearing. That ain't coming off. Okay? It isn't. And it wasn't going to come off anyway, because he never takes it off. It's probably very sweaty, but it doesn't matter. Just a little confused, because he could have very easily pushed up his headband, like grabbed it, and you see the thing, and he pulls it back down. You never see it again. It makes no sense. They could have done that. And it's clear, okay, they weren't exactly trying to make it like he wasn't supposed to be like an attractive character, okay? He was just supposed to be, like, cool and suave. Plus, he has syphilis. I know that's like, what are you talking about? If you noticed, he's got, like, a scab on his face. Yes, technically, it's just a joke between Johnny and the makeup artist. But, the joke was that Jack has syphilis. Which was common amongst pirates, and that's one of the symptoms of it, is having, like, scabs. Also, the scab never goes away. It is there. Every movie, he has it. Okay. So, just saying, very easily could have, it's very, cool. But anyway, very easily could have had his brand be on his forehead. Okay, another thing. This is about boats. Get ready for this one. Those old-timey ships, very commonly, all the time, actually, had at least a foot of water in the bottom of them. On the very, like, below deck, there was always at least a foot of water. Who knows how it got there, but it was always there. And it actually, it didn't really do anything. It didn't really have much of an effect on anything. But that was just how they were. Yeah, no, again, not a fun condition to live in at all. So when they take Jack to the brig in Curse of the Black Pearl, and he sees the hole in the side, he goes, there appears to be a leak, And he's just sitting in, like, a couple inches of water. Yeah. No. That would be there anyway. The line, stop blowing holes in my ship, is still funny to me, but it's a little bit annoying because I'm like, well, actually, the water would always be there. So, it's like, something like up to 3 feet of water would be in the bottom of those ships at all times. Just, like, continuously. So, I don't really know who authorized that. I was just kidding. Yeah, okay, now I'm gonna get on to Blackbeard. So, I've only seen On Stranger Tides one time, as opposed to the first three movies, like, a million times. Um, but I just want to tell you guys, Blackbeard is kind of a loser. He doesn't have a sword that makes you immortal. He doesn't know how to turn people into zombies. He doesn't know how to put ships in bottles. He doesn't know how to control a ship without, like all the stuff on a ship and everything. And he doesn't have a weird random daughter from Spain. Angelica is not a real person. Edward Teach was a British privateer, right? Who was also a pirate. And he got killed. And Queen Anne's Revenge, was his ship, whatever. But Blackbeard wasn't that cool. Blackbeard didn't have magical powers or abilities. Blackbeard was kind of a loser. He had two ships. Pathetic. Okay, first off, he had two ships. His biggest thing, he also had syphilis, believe it or not. His biggest thing was just he would set his hair on fire and scare the crap out of people. So, yes, fearsome. Anyway. Also, pirates didn't bury their treasure. Captain Kidd buried his treasure one time. And then they dug it up. Because he told them where he put it. Them being the government. And then they hung him. For being a pirate. So, Why am I caring about historical accuracies in a movie where a guy literally has a beard made of tentacles? And where they literally sail over the edge of the world and bring somebody back to life, and when the Kraken exists? Because I'm allowed to. I am allowed to be that person, if I so choose to be, and I do. I ruin things for myself. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of historical movies that are fucking wrong. Another thing, on the corset, this has nothing to do with Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, no, nothing. Bridgerton? First off, Bridgerton sucks, alright? I just want to put that out there. Because Daphne totally raped him. Whatever his name was, I don't remember his name. The cute guy, her husband, she totally raped him. And I was thinking, really? Yeah, because she, there's so much. That show is so uncomfortable. Like my friend said, I saw more of that man's ass than I did his face. I just want to say that, yeah, it's cool, right? It has an interesting new side to period dramas that is a little more sexy. Fun, except she raped him. Rape is... She basically did the equivalent of a guy lying about putting on a condom. That is still rape. She raped him. After that, I was like, yeah, no. None of this. Not anymore. I can't take it. Also, secondly, there's a scene where, all the sisters are getting dressed. And this woman is wearing a corset that makes you look like an hourglass. It's the Regency era. Her dress would not have fit her if she had been wearing that. They wore, they didn't wear corsets. Not like that. They wore, a thing that went over your, the top part of your torso. But because the waistline was here, you weren't wearing a corset. Stupid. All of the costumes in that show are ugly as sin. First of all. Also, Queen Charlotte was white. I'm not saying the show can't take liberties with that. They can do whatever they want. But I just want you all to know, Queen Charlotte was definitely white. People have been speculating that she might have been black. She's not. Okay? There was one woman who was royalty and black, and in a white country like Britain or something, which was very odd for the time, because she was I don't even know what her deal was. I can't remember. I heard about her. She's cool, but Queen Charlotte, 100% white. In history, again, show can do whatever it wants. Also, We're not talking about Bridgerton because I don't even like it. I was just gonna say, another thing that did corsets wrong. Bridgerton. Anyway, I might be a little too into this. Okay, well, recap. Pirates of the Caribbean is fantastic. Not historically accurate, but fantastic. I don't know where they came up with some of this stuff. Really. It makes no sense to me. Also, the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie and the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie are the actual worst things I've ever seen. They suck. Disney has lost its touch. Just like with Star Wars, and probably just like they're going to do with Marvel. Speaking of Marvel, I got this sticker. So, I could give you guys a sticker tour real fast. These are fun. I like my stickers. And I have a couple more minutes before my phone cuts me off. Walden. That's his name. He's from a webcomic called Rialta. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's really good. My favorite artist draws it. I found out she had a webcomic long after I followed her already. And so I bought this off her Etsy shop, which updates soon. This, I'm not okay. I ordered a flag, and this came free. Obviously I got this from Kate Comics on Instagram. I don't know if she still has these up, but she had them. They were a little overpriced for me, but I bought it anyway because I'm crazy like that. These are from Walmart. They're just plants with faces. What else do I have? Oh, I bought this for $1 at a thing on campus. I bought this, my friend bought this for me for 25 cents at a crystal shop. That's it. My mom ordered a bunch of stickers for me, with my money, of course, so. I could do my laptop sticker tour. Maybe I'll throw that one in some other time. Okay, this has absolutely lost it. I wrote stuff down this time, too. Anyway. Okay, Pirates of the Caribbean slaps. Historically accurate? No. Not in the least. Not at all. I'll refer a very lovely video about why it sucked to be a pirate by Salmonella Academy. I'll put it in the description, because it really is a funny video. And they mention Pirates of the Caribbean quite a bit. What I mean is, they make fun of Pirates of the Caribbean quite a bit for not being historically accurate. But here's the thing, Samuel. It's not supposed to be. Anyway. Goodbye. That's all. The thumbnail, once again, is going to be way better than this video. Anyway, that's it. Actually, goodbye this time.